This is Trabr. We're creating the technology and the ecosystem for everything building. We're creating a market network which boasts a marketplace and a mobile-first, cloud-based suite of project control tools for builders, consumers, trades, suppliers, for everybody. All on a smartphone, all remote, all mobile, all for building. This is Trabr, and this is a building conversation. This is Tony Huxley from Trabr Limited, and I'm glad to say that this morning I'm joined by Tony Rouady, the GM of Network Building Supplies. G'day Tony, how are you?
Good, thanks Tony, how are you?
Fantastic mate, thanks for making the time to join us, I really appreciate it. So a few questions I wanted to ask you, I guess in relation to your business and where you fit in the marketplace, particularly around your lining products, your cladding products and these sort of things, but from a different perspective. I guess let me put it this way. It's not all that long ago that building cladding was thought to be, or to possibly have been, a panacea for medium and high density construction, and the market got flooded with, I won't say the detail behind it, but with cladding products from all across the globe. And as a consequence of that, it's had a pretty checkered history, if not an unwanted media profile over the past 4 or 5 years. Tell me how that might have impacted your business and where you guys sit in the market.
Well, it definitely has impacted us, Tony. I think I've mentioned to you before, we are the exclusive national distributor of one of the world's, well, I think it is now the world's leading aluminium cladding panel, which is the Mitsubishi Alpolic.
Yep.
So with obviously having the rights to that product, we're exposed nationally to the changing perception around them. It has impacted us significantly, because what we've noticed is good products are getting lumped in with the bad products now. So the whole product category of aluminium composite panels has been tarred with that same brush.
Yeah.
And our job now is to distinguish and educate the market into the differences of these products. What's compliant, what's not. So it's it's a bit of a minefield at the moment, but there's one thing we are certain of. If you've got a product backed by a globally trusted company who've done all of their testing and have all of their documentation and have been around a long time, then you're pretty much safe. I think people have lost that in all this, the message, because of the perception. So what we've seen is, if I can talk about Mitsubishi, in that over 20 years ago, they understood that aluminium composite panels with 100% polyethylene cores were bad. And they burn. So they stopped making them.
That's 20 years ago.
20 years ago.
Right.
Over 20 years ago. And even today, the New South Wales government and most of the other governments, I think, allow, if it's got less than 30% polyethylene, it's safe to remain on the building. So the Alpolic FR, which was produced 20 years ago, is still safe to stay on many of the buildings that are clad in it.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Because ultimately it doesn't propagate flame. It doesn't spread flame. It won't endanger anyone. There's been fires worldwide with our product on it that have not spread flame. There's evidence of that. But what's happened is these 100% PE core products, which some companies have been selling up until 2-3 years ago, I think 3 years ago. Now, when Mitsubishi and companies like them who knew this was no good stopped using it for cladding, saying this isn't the right, off their own bat, costing obviously millions and millions of dollars.
Retooling and all that sort of stuff.
So I respect a company like theirs. They call themselves a Kaiteki company in Japan, which is, I think it's the well-being of people. I should translate it properly. The well-being of people is important to us. So that's their motto, Kaiteki. So you've got to respect companies like them who've done the right thing.
Certainly can't criticise them.
You can't. And the thing is, so yes, Tony, it's affected us because you only need to read the media to see there's some class action going on, and it'll come out that people did know this was no good. These 100% polyethylene panels. It will come out, and if you knowingly sold that, I don't know. You'd have to have a clear. To me, I have to have a clear conscience in what we sell, and making sure that we've got the right products is very important to us. So in terms of cladding, we've spent a lot of money on our own independent tests just to be sure. I know the paperwork tells me it's a great product, and all the testing does.
Yeah, but there's nothing better than eyeballing it yourself.
I've witnessed it time and time again on full scale, very expensive war tests.
Oh, really?
Fire tests, and watched it, how it performs in real lives, and knowing, yep, I'm happy to have my kids stay in a building with these products on it. Yeah. Now,
well, I guess the last thing you want to do is hit your wagon or falling star.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the thing is, for us, the move now, like a lot of because of the stigma associated, the default has been, well, let's just put solid aluminium up now.
Oh, okay.
Not if it's an aluminium composite panel. It must be bad.
Yeah. That's
crazy, because when we had asbestos in brakes, we didn't stop selling brakes.
Exactly.
We stopped selling brakes with asbestos in. The bad one.
Indeed. Thankfully, they kept making brakes.
Exactly. When you had the fibre cement sheets with asbestos in.
Yeah, same thing.
We still sell fibre cement. We didn't ban the category.
No.
We banned the bad product.
Indeed. It's logical, isn't it?
What's happening here now with insurance companies, governments, no ACP.
So it's like you've been tarred with the same brush.
Yes, no ACP. When scientifically, our Polyc NC has been proven to perform better than solid aluminium.
Yeah.
But now there are a lot of, like I said, insurers and government agencies are saying, well, sorry, we have a no ACP policy. That's crazy, because you've got one of the best performing products in the world being excluded on some of taxpayer funded jobs for a product that doesn't perform as well in the fire. It has some other issues, and from a Green Star point of view, from an energy efficiency point of view, it's terrible. And so we've forgotten all of these things, all of us.
Yeah.
Because no ACPs when you've got, one of the best warranted products in the world being excluded on large jobs, and solid aluminium imported from local distributors putting their stamp on it, not backed by a large manufacturer, which could have other issues later with warranties.
Risk.
So that's where, for us, Tony, this has preoccupied a lot of our time over the last since the fires in London and obviously Melbourne.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Since that, it's preoccupied a lot of our time, because we are our Polyc's representative in Australia. Mitsubishi's are, and they are.
It's not just like you're selling the stuff.
We are their arm.
Exactly.
So we have to educate the market here.
Yeah, I can understand.
Because yes, of course, we're selling a product. It's good for our business. Put that aside. We know from our own evidence and our own testing that I can't find a better product in the market.
Tony Rouady, I appreciate your time. Thanks for joining me this morning.
Thanks, Tony.